I'm going to explain why I have a problem with telling victims of abuse to take accountability. And I understand that sometimes it's not done from a malicious place. And what is often meant is like, we have wounded pieces too, so we have to be responsible to heal them. And I support that. But it bothers me because it ignores one very basic thing about human consciousness. We all operate from the limits of our awareness. Someone who's in an abusive relationship often doesn't even know that they are. I didn't realize my relationship was abusive until I actually left the relationship and I educated myself. And I talked to so many people who struggle with identifying their relationship as abusive, even after they left. And it's because socially we have faulty belief systems about abuse. So many people only consider overt forms of abuse as abuse. Or we have faulty belief systems about relationships or the role of relationships in our life. We have faulty belief systems about our capabilities and our value. Faulty belief systems about our autonomy. And all of these faulty belief systems prevent us from seeing outside of them. Now, where did those belief systems come from? They come from society, how we are expected to behave in order to fit in. They come from our parents. Belief systems about our worth come from our emotional trauma, being invalidated or dismissed by our parents, being humiliated or ridiculed by mean kids at school. They come from an education system that trains people to check off boxes instead of fostering individuality and creativity. They come from patriarchy and beliefs about gender roles. The truth is, anytime you come up against one of these beliefs, or if you try to challenge these beliefs, you're met with more shaming, more guilt, and more gaslighting. When you're in an abusive relationship, you are told you are the reason they are abusive. You are the problem in the relationship. And when you have belief systems that support that narrative, belief systems that were taught to you by society, then you can't see outside of those belief systems. So how is someone supposed to take accountability for something they cannot see? I ended up in an abusive relationship because of a number of factors, but the biggest one was social conditioning. It wasn't that I was dumb or naive or insecure. I was raised to be a people-pleasing, codependent doormat. I didn't know what boundaries were because they were not taught to me. I was fed this bullshit, not just by my parents, but from society. I was not taught about toxic or abusive people. When I found myself in this relationship and I tried to assert my autonomy, I was told I was selfish. And this is parroted by society. It's selfish to center yourself. You must always center other people. So none of these things are actually my doing. They're the doing of the people around me, of society, of my parents, of the kids at school that taught me that in order for me to be safe, I need to change who I am. Me being this way isn't my fault. Now, until I can see that the problem isn't me, but my belief systems that don't belong to me, but were fed to me by the people around me, growing beyond them is outside of my awareness. And comments that tell victims to take accountability for their own suffering, they're just unhelpful. They're not empathic. They're not meeting people where they are. And they're just loaded with judgment. There are ways to encourage agency without issuing shame or guilt.